Okay, so I'm just parked at a Value Village right now. I'm hoping to find a nice denim jacket that I can jazz up and hopefully do a little bit of painting on the back and maybe on the sleeves. I did something similar a couple years ago with a vintage Levi's denim jacket that I bought off Etsy. It's super cute and I had a lot of fun with that DIY, but obviously with Etsy, it's you have to pay for shipping, and usually a lot of those stores are a lot more expensive. So in an effort to save more money and just be more sustainable, I'm gonna try to find something at my local thrift shop. So let's check it out. This is super cute, and it's a vest, but I think this is exactly what I'm looking for. Actually, I think this is perfect. It's Gap. The wash is really nice. Ooh, I think this is it, guys. Alright. Hey guys, so it's been a couple days since I last thrifted this denim jean jacket and the denim vest that I got. And originally I was going to be painting on the back or on the sleeves. It was going to be a painting related thrift flip / DIY. But then I was on Pinterest and kind of got my gears going. And I was prepping for the release of my Sherpa bucket hats, and the idea came to me, why don't I use my leftover Sherpa yarn and create like a Sherpa collar, like a removable collar. I think that would actually be a really cute idea and not such a difficult DIY. The idea is to make it detachable, so I'll probably install a couple of snap buttons on each edge and then maybe 2 more just so it's secure when you wear it. And if you don't want to wear it, if it's like the spring or summer, then you can always just remove it. So I'm going to weigh this later. I have this leftover yarn that I believe should cover what I need. And I have a bunch of yarn in other colors too, so I think I'm going to give it a try and see how it goes. But I think it's going to be really cute. Let's get started. So the first step is measuring the dimensions of the collar. So I would lay it out flat, and you're going to take a couple measurements. So I'm going to measure the base length. Next, we're going to measure the height. Finally, okay, so you have these 3 numbers. What we're going to be doing is, it's going to be quite simple. I'm going to be using garter stitch the whole way through, just because with garter stitch, you know that the piece is going to stay flat. And the Sherpa yarn that I have, this will work, but it's very light, so I want it to be denser. So I'm going to add 1 strand of, I believe this is like a heavy worsted, almost a bulky weight yarn. So I'm going to combine these 2 together, and I'm going to make some swatches to see how many stitches it will take for me to get the base here. So let's give that a try. So I'm going to start off by using 6.5 millimeters. So this is a US size 10.5. Just because I've used this yarn before and I have a rough idea of what a size needles could work, but I think 6.5 is a good place to start just because you do want that density. You don't want it to be that flimsy. So I'm going to try casting on, oops, okay, well, I'm going to start off with 10 stitches. I'm just going to knit with the long tail method. And then just see what 10 stitches will get me. Okay, so I've swatched a total of 5 rows, and I think that's good enough to take it off the needles just to take a quick measurement. And we cast on 10 stitches, right? So we're going to just measure from end to end. So based on the swatch that I made, I know that I will personally be needing to cast on 38 stitches for the base. Your number might be different. Be mindful that if your gauge is off, is not the same as mine, then it will be different. So I'm just gonna frog my swatch, and then I'm gonna actually get started by casting on the real number of stitches that I need. Okay, so now that we're pretty much just over halfway there, we're going to begin our increases. So typically there are left-leaning increases and right-leaning increases, but with textured yarn, it really doesn't matter because you can't see it anyway. So I'm a firm believer, if you're using textured yarn, use the decrease or the increase that is easiest for you. And in this case, I would say just knitting front and back is the easiest. So we're going to be doing that in the first stitch and then the last stitch. Knit in the front, and then you knit in the back to increase 1 stitch, and then you knit all the way. Okay, so you've reached the last stitch and you're going to be knitting through the front and back. So now you've increased 1 stitch on each end. Now you're going to continue knitting garter stitch until just about, I would say, 1/4 or to 1/2 inch past this point here. Okay, so now that you've knit your collar, you're going to be attaching it to the jacket. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm using a snap button kit. It looks like this. It's a kit that I got off Amazon. I think it was no more than $20, but it has a ton. Like, I'm never going to be needing this many, but I love how there's a lot of variety. There's gold, there's like black, there's silver, there's a lot of different colors. Depending on the project you want to use, and I use this for my Amelia hat as well, and I loved it, so I'm going to continue using it for this project. The only thing though, because it's not a sew-on button, you're going to need a hammer to actually hammer the buttons together. And if you are using one of these kits, it's very important that you have a mat underneath your project so you don't put any dents on your table or surface that you're working on. So I'm going to be using that. Off camera, I actually made another sample using a fur yarn. This one is using Lang Yarn's Felice. I love it, but unfortunately it's a discontinued yarn. I just happen to have this in my stash. It's been sitting there for, I want to say 10 years now, a very long time. So I finally found this project. I think it's perfect for it. I think it'll be very cute and just a cute additional way to wear this jacket. So let's get installing. Okay, so I made a teeny tiny hole using the puncher here. It doesn't need to be too big, just big enough for you to insert the 2 parts, and I chose this color just because it matches the thread here and also the denim buttons. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough, and I think it will still look really nice on. So every set is going to be different, but it looks pretty nice. Oh, I shouldn't have hammered it in too hard, but it looks pretty nice on the wrong side too. So that. So then on the other side of your sherpa, you're going to be installing that other side, so you can just snap it on and off.
Love, life, fashion, love, life, fashion,